You should not know this, but they're too late.
The 3rd of March, 1982. The Ohio Turnpike, Erie County, Ohio. A DUI.
He was urinating in front of the vehicle when I stopped him. And we got over there. He was very quiet, drunk, very drunk.
He's urinating on the Turnpike, and himself. He won't give his name.
Asked him what his name was, and he says, I don't want to tell you. And just kept that up the whole time.
Then, it escalated beyond Erie County and the state of Ohio.
Detroit's FBI office.
The feds show up for a DUI. Inside the driver's car, a briefcase, a trench coat, a pinstripe suit, and a weapon with a heck of a story.
And we turned that over to the FBI when they went and picked him up.
The FBI and the people who protect the president.
Now, do you know that they have a Secret Service file on him, too?
There is a reason you don't know this story.
It's either going to become a Netflix special, or it's going to go nowhere because they're going to use the algorithms to shut it down.
You should not know this. This is an active investigation built on public records, contemporaneous reporting, and first-hand interviews. The accused are presumed innocent until proven guilty. Some matters remain unresolved, and uncertainty is clearly stated. Some names have been changed, and graphic detail has been withheld. Discretion advised.
This is not true crime created to mislead you. You won't find manufactured cliffhangers around every corner. It's not a snackable whodunit. You're invited into an active, actual investigation. It's discovery, not performance. This is real. And here's how it got itself going. Late one winter night, a YouTube video was playing in the background. Something about a man who may or may not have lived a nefarious life. May or may not, because finding information on this guy had proved impossible. It is possible he should be an infamous household name. Instead, he's completely unknown. People just wanted to know who he was, where he was, if he had done anything wrong, and if so, what? A few investigators had tried to dig up his life. They failed. All of them. That late-night YouTube video caught the attention of 4 guys. They decided to dig in, see what they could find. A little research project began in December of 2024. They were looking for names, dates, addresses, basic timeline stuff. They were not looking for a story. But a story found them.
I'm Drew Hurst Beeson.
I'm Tim Wallace.
I'm Ian Glover.
I'm D. Raj. We are those 4 guys. The Ohio Turnpike. It's a major artery running across northern Ohio.
Paul Sigsworth, Sheriff, Erie County, Ohio.
We have a long stretch of the Turnpike that runs through our local jurisdiction. And so we get a lot of folks being brought into the county jail that are arrested on the Turnpike, generally by the Ohio State Highway Patrol.
The sheriff's section of the Turnpike, Erie County, includes Sandusky, a small city, about 30,000 people back in 1982. It's home to Cedar Point Amusement Park, one of the finest in the world. Sheriff Sigsworth sees his fair share of action on the Turnpike. Illegal activity passing through, vacationers taking the party to the freeway. His career began with Erie County in 1983, a year after the events in this story. He knows better than anyone the process produced by getting caught doing something you should not on the Ohio Turnpike.
Back in those days, the person would have been brought through the booking office, would have been searched, changed in the jail-issued clothing, would have been placed in the jail.
The process creates paperwork. Paperwork leaves a trail. The evidence behind the paperwork is gravity. On the Turnpike, just south of Sandusky, an Ohio State trooper spotted a driver swerving, pumping the brakes, going 25 miles an hour on a freeway. That calls for a DUI stop. The State Patrol vehicle lit up the Ohio countryside with dancing red, white, and blue. Ironic. A quick squawk, and both vehicles were idling on the shoulder. Ahead of the trooper, a 1-year-old Chevy Citation. Remember those? It's stolen, and it's white. Inside the vehicle, a 54-year-old man. He's white too, and he stole the Chevy. Before the trooper could approach the Chevy, the alleged drunk had exited to relieve himself on the shoulder. He positioned himself in front of the car and peed. He finished and staggered to the rear of the Chevy, coming eye to eye with the trooper, who observed the drunk had relieved himself on his blue jeans. Other than wet pants, he's no threat.
Dale Meyer, Ohio State Patrol, retired, Turnpike arresting officer.
You could tell he was an ex-con.
A felon with a weapon in a briefcase.
They got away. You could just pick it out on him. And, very polite.
Ex-con, very drunk, and very polite are not often uttered in the same breath.
He just got out of prison.
The federal one in Terre Haute, Indiana. The one with death row.
He cooperated, did everything I was asking, but he had this air about him, that he was drunk, but he knew what he was doing.
Cooperation and compliance are not the same thing.
He wasn't going to give me any information that he didn't want to.
Not loud, not fighting, not making threats. Also, not doing more than the bare minimum. There is a process for this kind of thing. Protocol. What do you do with a politely uncooperative drunk? You cuff him, take him in, call him John Doe, book him, hold him, charge him, wait for court. That's how it goes. Protocol. And that's how it went here. For a while. In 1982, modern technology was in its infancy. Typewriters still ruled. Computers were here, but not widespread. So back then, cooperative or not, a jail booking card was created for everyone booked into the 100-year-old Erie County Jail. Not a computer file, an actual paper booking card. The booking card holds your vitals, your name, your address, your birth date, your height, your weight, plus what you did wrong, who brought you in, and eventually, who took you out. Everybody got a booking card. Cooperative or not. Even at the jail, the drunk would not play along. Politely. No name, no fight, but no compliance. He wouldn't stand for measurements, he wouldn't give his address. Instead, they gave him the address of that stolen car, the Chevy. Regardless, in the end, a booking card was created for the polite Turnpike drunk. Unlike everyone else, today, his booking card is partially redacted. Remember, paperwork and the evidence behind it is gravity. It pulls the accused into a courtroom, or so it should. The only way to avoid the inevitable, prosecution, is a force strong enough to escape the gravity of the evidence. Our investigation is ongoing. The evidence behind this part of the story came directly from Erie County, Ohio, the prosecutor's office, and the courthouse. We found what previous investigators had found: a vague newspaper article on newspapers.com from the Sandusky Register. It's about the Turnpike DUI. That one was easy to find and mundane to read. What previous investigators missed was a second article from the Sandusky Register on a smaller, lesser-known old newspaper website. And that article changed everything. With the second article, we put some feelers out on Facebook. It led to a tip to bypass the normal request process and go straight to the Erie County Prosecutor's Office. Okay, we did both. Filed a formal request with the courthouse for court documents, and sent an email directly to an assistant prosecutor asking for any and everything they had on this case. And it was a lot. The prosecutor who dug up the old microfilm was wide-eyed upon reading the documents. So was I. This story was a non-story. A drunk driver on the Ohio Turnpike. Instead, a force will challenge gravity. I'm D. Raj. I started this investigation in late 2024. My very first contact was Drew.
I have been following this case for about 6 years now. It just gets deeper and deeper and deeper and more interesting the deeper you go.
Drew turned to Tim.
I learned about this amazing story from Drew. I have been hooked ever since.
And then Ian came on board.
And I was first introduced to this case by Dee relatively recently, and I've just been fascinated watching the pieces fall together.
So what do we have here?
He had no interest in mitigating what he had already done. Not worried about any ramifications kind of guy.
So he must have been really drunk.
I mean, it should be pretty straightforward then for this arrest, you'd think.
Absolutely.
He wasn't trying to be careful, it seemed like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He knew the drill.
How did a police officer know, or how did he feel that he was an ex-con? I mean, there was obviously an aura he was just a drunk guy, to sort of peg him as being an ex-con. He obviously exuded some kind of presence.
Could have been his choice of words, too. And that would immediately alert a police officer he'd been to prison.
Possibly.
He just seemed to be very confident for a guy that was about to be hauled off to jail. And, where does that confidence come from?
It's a good point.
Why the redaction? It was a simple DUI. The fact that the FBI turned up for a DUI, why have we got redactions on this?
This is all a harbinger for things to come.
See the redactions. Subscribe and support the investigation at youshouldnotknowthis.org.
The early 1980s beat the crap out of the Midwest, the Rust Belt. That term wouldn't be coined until 1984, but back in 1982, the corrosion had firmly taken hold. The Midwest was factories. The steel and auto industries led the way. Industry in the Midwest was the backbone of the American economy, until it broke. When it broke, times turned ugly. Factories left, families with them. Neighborhoods emptied. Some towns died. Others vanished entirely. It's haunting, kind of Amerigeddon. Predictably, crime was up in 1982. Desperate people do desperate things. Trooper Dale Meyer was not one of those desperate people. He was a young, by-the-book trooper back in '82. He processed hundreds of arrests over his career. More than 4 decades have passed since this Turnpike DUI. And to Meyer, today, this 1982 crime still stands out. For whatever reason, he kept all of his files on this case. He remembers it as unusual. For years, he didn't know why it was unusual. He just knew it was not usual. Unusual, like the redacted booking card. Booking cards rarely get redacted. Why would you? Is the normal response. Sheriff Sigsworth again.
There were a lot of redactions done on this booking card. Including the arresting agency, and I don't know why that would have been redacted.
Bold black marker, covering curious things. Someone did not redact his name. Someone did not try to hide him. Someone did try to hide his orbit. And maybe hide our contacts all these decades later. When it comes to the polite Turnpike drunk, someone does not want you to know what he did wrong. His social security number.
The offense, the name of the releasing officer.
His status.
All that's been redacted. I can't understand why this would have been done.
All gone.
I don't know.
So, if a booking card is not the kind of thing that gets redacted, why and how is this card redacted?
This was done with a black Sharpie or black magic marker. I can't begin to speculate on who may have done that. When I worked in the jail, I don't recall ever doing this. But obviously it happened. At this point, I don't know how.
Nobody does. Most notably, the people who should. The Turnpike drunk will spend a good amount of time in the Erie County Jail, added to the National Register of Historic Places in 1982. Same year. It's old.
It was built in the 1880s. Pretty unsanitary. Not very good ventilation. For somebody to stay in that environment for a couple months, most people couldn't wait to get out of there.
The drunk was there most of March in a cell built for outlaws, delivered on horseback. April, then May. He's charged. He's charged for the weapon found in his briefcase. He's charged for the stolen Chevy. All things considered, you can forget the DUI. The gears of liberty and justice start turning in the case against the polite Turnpike drunk. Prosecutors prepare to take him down. A case with overwhelming evidence pointing in their favor. Evidence the drunk transported himself, seemingly unbothered by the consequences. The defense is doing what they can, however limited. A judge was assigned to the case. Trooper Meyer's detailed police report was submitted as evidence. It's all right here. Then, during the process, a witness died.
It's very convenient.
Yeah.
A redacted jail card.
That's very interesting. It doesn't say how he was released.
Yeah, so basically all we have on this jail record is that he was arrested in Ohio, and that's it.
And who redacted it? I mean, was it redacted, then and there? Or a couple of months afterwards? Or was it redacted just before you asked for it?
Something strange leads to something even stranger.
Help uncover new-to-the-public information when you support the investigation. Subscribe to see the evidence at youshouldnotknowthis.org.
If Pittsburgh wasn't the capital of the Rust Belt, it was in contention. The military created Pittsburgh, first as Fort Pitt, the British military, in fact. But the steel industry built Pittsburgh. Just look at the name of their football team. When Pittsburgh Steel crumbled, its people had nothing to stand on. One person in Pittsburgh survived as a bartender. Her name was Phyllis. She tended a blue-collar bar in a gritty industrial neighborhood. Carpenters, sheet metal workers, bikers, truck drivers, people hoping to have $1 or $2 in their pocket for a drink after work, if they had work, or anything at all. You remember the stolen Chevy Citation from the Ohio Turnpike. Phyllis owned it. The polite Turnpike drunk took it from in front of her house. When he took it, he swapped her Pennsylvania vanity plates that read Foo-Foo for Michigan plates that were stolen. Back on the Turnpike with Phyllis's stolen car, the polite Turnpike drunk refused to give his name. John Doe waited in the Erie County Jail. Turns out, the FBI wanted to know who he was too. And they found him. Trooper Meyer spoke with an FBI agent, got his name, his real name. John Doe, the polite Turnpike drunk, was 54-year-old Ted Braden.
I could tell that he was ex-military. You know, only told you what you needed. They tried to catch you off guard. He was very polite when he wouldn't give you any information. I'm not going to tell you anything. You find it out, and then I'll confess to it if you can prove it to me. We just locked him up as a John Doe. He thought that you just play along and go to jail for the DUI and get out. Even though he's telling a guy's been in prison. They play the game with you mentally. This guy's got something to hide. He don't want to tell us. And he's been through it before. They act a little bit different, you know. Everything is different. Well, he was so drunk, too.
Now, Phyllis, owner of Ted's stolen Chevy, drove from Pittsburgh to Erie County, Ohio, about 3 hours away, to sit for an interview with Trooper Meyer and get her car back.
Now, the girl that owned the car, I took a statement from her. She was very evasive. She was like a bartender, and she said he was a truck driver. But she wouldn't tell me anything. That was what I got from people I talked to. They knew more, but they wouldn't talk to me because they were afraid of repercussions. You know, they would threaten people. And she basically was very standoffish and more or less implied if she said anything to me on who he was, that something would happen to her.
And something did happen to her.
I see that she ended up dying a week after I released the car to her.
A victim dies 3 weeks after her car is stolen, 1 week after she talks to cops, afraid. Phyllis admitted to knowing Ted Braden, not as a friend, not as a boyfriend, simply as a bar patron. She refused to press charges. Fear again. Ted Braden did not own the Chevy Citation. but he did not hesitate to pack it with things he did own. Things that tell you more about him. A briefcase containing a .38 special revolver, a blackjack, the type of weapon you use when you want to bludgeon something or one, letters addressed to an accomplice and the accomplice's wife, 6 rounds of ammo, papers, a socket set. How else are you going to remove foo-foo vanity plates? And clothing. Strange clothing, at least for this guy. Clothing that matches the description of the clothing worn by 3 suspects in a Pittsburgh supermarket, bank, and lottery outlet robbery. He had a trench coat, 3-piece suits, dress shirts, ties, dress pants, and cowboy boots. Also in Ted's possession was what they called a galley book. We had never heard of a galley book, so what is a galley book? Well, apparently, when you write a book, when you're almost done, you or your publisher will send pre-production copies to select people for review. Those people are experts on the subject matter or take special interest in the book's content. It's rare and privileged to be in possession of a galley book. Was Ted writing a book? If not, he was very close to the author or was an expert in the field. Trooper Meyer can't recall details of that galley book.
Galley book? No.
Ted Braden found room in that Chevy Citation for counterfeiting equipment. A conviction on counterfeiting charges can put you away for decades. To add to the incrimination, Ted's briefcase contained letters addressed to a man named Bernard Fecco and to his wife. 1 to Bernie, 2 to Bernie's wife. Content unknown. See, Bernie is Ted Braden's alleged Pittsburgh robbery accomplice. Bernie is from Detroit. Compare the documents and you'll see that while Ted waited in the comfort of the Erie County Jail, Bernie was in Detroit and in trouble with the FBI. Bernie should not have been anywhere near Pittsburgh when the robbery happened in February of '82. He should have been in custody in Detroit. There was a warrant for forgery. Bernie would be convicted of forging signatures and cashing U.S. savings bonds that weren't his. On March 9th, 1982, Bernie would plead guilty to those charges. Today, we have the records. All of them. Bernie's plea agreement is telling. Allegations of counterfeiting. No indication Bernie denied it. Only indications of Bernie's cooperation in exchange for lesser charges. The plea agreement required Bernie to cooperate with Canadian and American authorities. They were investigating counterfeit American currency being printed in Canada. Now, Ted was caught with counterfeiting equipment. And that galley book, possibly what you'd call a book of templates for printing fake cash. Maybe Ted wasn't an author, just a printer. Did Bernie turn on Ted? Were Ted's letters to Bernie and his wife a warning or a threat? The foo-foo vanity plates on that stolen Chevy were swapped with Michigan plates. Detroit is in Michigan. And the plates came from Bernie, allegedly. He stole them from his stepdaughter, again, allegedly. The letters, the robbery, the counterfeiting connection. Ted and Bernie were more than casual acquaintances, tight enough that Bernie may have benefited from Ted's influence. There's only one redaction in Bernie's court files, the line about his alleged involvement in the Pittsburgh robbery. Bureaucratic laziness works in your favor here, because the Pittsburgh robbery redaction was not carried out with a bold black marker. It was redacted with a ballpoint pen. They gave minimal effort, so with your minimal effort, you can read right through the redaction and make out every single word. Bottom line, the only redaction in Bernie's documents involves his involvement with Ted Braden. .38 Special, the sidearm in Ted's briefcase. Trooper Meyer traced that weapon. Then he found the owner, a small-town Tennessee police chief, Chief Pippinger. To clarify, Meyer found the family of the owner because Chief Pippinger was dead. The evidence is gravity. Gravity pulls the criminal into the courtroom. Meyer says Ted Braden was set to go to a grand jury hearing. That is the gravity at work. The only thing stopping it is a force with escape velocity. And here it comes.
Before they prosecute him here, they canceled the grand jury hearing. They came and picked him up and took him back.
The agent arrived at the Erie County Jail.
They dropped my case when they came and picked him up.
He removed Ted from his cell,
From what I could tell, I don't see what they did to him.
from his charges, from the situation, with no documented consequences.
No.
A stolen car, a weapons charge, bank robbery, counterfeiting, dead people, and Ted Braden walks off into an unsolved mystery. Unscathed. No trial, no sentence, no explanation. And don't ask the court and police records to help, because when the feds arrive, the documents end. Does this explain the polite Turnpike drunk? Did he know? Was Ted Braden waiting for the FBI to rescue him?
Yeah, I can't see this guy driving around with foo-foo number plates.
How old was she? How old do we know her approximate age at the time?
58.
Close in age.
I'm legitimately curious to know whether she was more than just his bartender.
If he knew her well enough to know her address, it sounds like he may have known her a little more than just as his bartender. She wouldn't press charges. She wouldn't say anything bad about him, really, that we know from the transcript. There wasn't really much to say at all on her part. And yet still, a week later, she dies.
He seems to be able to do things without actually being there. He's sat in jail and something happens. I don't know, is he in control of other people? Or are they in control of him?
Someone wanted to make sure she never spoke.
It's almost, maybe he's got friends and acquaintances that, are keeping an eye on him, or I don't know. You just don't know. It's almost like he's got this sort of ghost following him that sort of helps him out when he's not actually there himself to do the job.
How about what he had with him?
Well, it looks like he was equipped for travel. He had a lot of stuff with him.
It's interesting. Do cowboy boots go with three-piece suits?
He was a well-dressed fella, apparently. But the thing that strikes me as strange is if he had just come from a recent robbery, you think he would have been a little more careful.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm interested in this galley book, Could be one of two things. It could either be a book that he was writing, or a book that someone he knew was writing, or a completely different thing, which is a forgery template book.
Yeah.
And then Bernie and more redactions.
All roads point to the redactions being driven by Ted. Some, outside force intervening on, all things Ted. So with counterfeiting, how did the Canada part get involved?
Yeah.
I have no idea.
The FBI?
The Alphabet Boys.
Yep. This guy's in a lot of trouble. And they're like, nope.
They had this mountain of evidence against him, and he was just let go in a way. Just waiting to be saved.
Why? That is the big question. Why?
You should not know this is not an accusation, nor is it an attempt to reframe, glorify, or sensationalize. It is the newly discovered documentation of one man's remarkable, not honorable, life by definition. There are people who experience Ted Braden in ways documents cannot. If you knew Ted, please reach out to the investigation, publicly or privately, on the record or off. Make contact at youshouldnotknowthis.org.
This story was never about the Turnpike, the DUI, never about the counterfeiting, the robbery, the chief's weapon, or the witness. It isn't what happened. It's why nothing happened when it should have.
You should not know this, but they're too late.